Hey guys, welcome back to the Race Survival series. We have week number 8 underway, and this is just game number 2. We have Tyson here in the bottom right, having taken down MisO on map 1 with some splendid macro play after holding a 3-hatch Hydra. Honestly, MisO's recovery was pretty fantastic, but not enough to stop that macro coming out of Tyson. Now he's going up against one of Team Terran's strongest players in Sharp. Sharp, of course, an absolutely fantastic Terran. Been one of the best Terrans in the world for quite some time. I think he was peaking as high as 3rd best Terran in the world. Right now, you know, I think most people would say he's fallen a little bit. Well, maybe not fallen, but more like Rush and Royal and JYJ have really come up in the world. But yeah, still one of the best Terrans out there. Now, the map is Revolver. And yeah, I think Revolver's a pretty solid map. We'll see how this goes down. I mean, I always mention that Nexus First is pretty popular here. But I'm hoping that we kind of get into a big macro game. I really love Sharp's mid-game, honestly. I think his mid-game is one of the most exciting and fun to watch Terran, like, TVP styles out there. He's very harassment-oriented, very vulture-focused, and has a lot of great army movements and tactics. So, yeah, definitely hoping that we can see some of that here today. Now, being cross-spawn, a little bit harder for either side to really get aggressive since that travel distance is pretty far, and if you do any sort of dedicated pushing, there are lots of ways to kind of run around your opponent's army, especially for the Protoss. So right now, we do just have gas coming up, probably just going to be a factory expand over here for Tyson. You know, just looks pretty standard as well. Gets his cybernetic score up very, very quickly. And I mean, I'd imagine it's just going to be like Dragoon expand type of thing. Okay, he does make a Zealot first, so maybe Zealot, Dragoon expand. Pretty common stuff. SCV scouting to the bottom left. We'll see if he goes for that end scout and gets a little bit late on the scout of Tyson, who, by the way, looks to be going to the top left. So another cross-spawn scout. I don't know why Protoss are actually doing this so often nowadays. I see it a lot with Nexus First plays, and now we're starting to see it with just regular plays. I tell you, if you cross-spawn, and let's say Sharp isn't here, and then you, like, scout top right, by the time you scout bottom left, man, it takes a while. But looks like the Zealot was headed towards that bottom left to scout anyways, so I guess they're kind of hedging with the unit scouts as well. Now, the probe does run into a Marine, then backs off. We just have the second depot as well as the factory on the way. He didn't see the Zealot. Okay, so that's... Oh, I think Sharp's confused as to where he's at. Yeah, so I think he popped into here, didn't see what he expected to see, and then ran up to the top right. So now I think Sharp has figured out, oh gosh, he's in the bottom right now. So this little pressure comes up while Tyson is taking a Nexus, but actually just plenty here from Sharp. Like, he has 3 Marines, a 4th on the way, as well as a Vulture, and that can, like, easily hold Zealot, Probe, even this Dragoon coming up. No problem at all with some solid micro, which of course we know Sharp has. Yeah, okay, so there goes the add-on. And we should be seeing a command center right away. Oh, wow, the Dragoon actually comes up. That's a little bit surprising, because like I said, just with some pretty basic micro, you beat this. See? He was actually caught off guard from it, and still killed everything and lost 1 Marine and just some health. And, like, honestly, if you're not caught off guard, like, if you realize that they're about to do that, it's going to go even better for Terran. So, obviously, solid hold there. It's not the end of the world, though, obviously, right? Like, you lose a Zealot, a little bit of health on a Goon, a Probe. It doesn't mean that much. Like, maybe if he's going to go Reaver, it's a little bit annoying that he won't have 2 Zealots in the shuttle or something like that. So the Dragoon comes all the way home. The SCV is in the main base and gets some great scouting off. Sees the observatory, sees the robotics facility. He knows that it's 1 gate. So Sharp kind of knows everything that's going on right now. And... oh, look at this. Oh, I'm actually getting chills right now. Sharp is such a cool player. Look at this, right? So He did some damage to the early units. He doesn't have to get a bunker. This is a ramped expansion, and he killed a zealot already and dealt damage to goons. So, like, you don't need the bunker. So he's jumping right up to a second factory, and he's actually getting vulture speed first, which with 2 factory plays, you almost never see this. So I think what we're going to see are some tactics coming out of Sharp where he's pressuring, like he pushes forward with Tank Marine, like wherever that hits. That'll force Dragoons out of position to deal with that, and then the Speed Vultures can get something done. So this is going to be a pretty exciting push coming out of Sharp here. Right now, Tyson just adding another gate. He has some observers. A Stargate. Oh, my God. Okay, so this looks like, yeah, this is going to be straight up 2-base carrier build. So these can be really tricky. But if your opponent decided to do something like this, where they're just going 2 factory and they're going to push you, this gets risky at that point. Whereas if your opponent goes for like, like Armory Engineering Bay, like a very standard macro build, something like this is going to be very strong against that because they aren't going to be able to scout what you're doing until very much later. Whereas not only is this going to give them intel, but they're bringing a lot of units down when you don't have a lot of units. Because, look, he's sitting on 4 goons right now. He does have 2 more started up, but this army can actually kill everything he has. So this is looking pretty good for Sharp right now. We're going to have to see the execution, of course. All right, here come the units, just immediately piling on top of this Dragoon. Now, this is a nice, tight choke. Here we go. The Vulture's getting in and laying some mines down. This is a big issue right now. The probes drill out, and nicely indeed, but the mines are starting to connect. And it seems to me that Tyson is getting very, very, very punished for this greedy build. Oh, another mine hits those Dragoons. Pulls back the Siege Tank here. Some solid micro out of Sharp. Kills yet another Dragoon. He did lock out the rest of the units, but that is going to be that GG, and Sharp takes a quick game number 2. All right, so we had that really fast one of Sharp just kind of tearing apart the greedy build of Tyson. I think that was a really interesting build with the quick speed upgrade as well. Like that, I don't think I've ever quite seen that, but with the 2 ways in, kind of made some sense. Now, going into this game, I'm a little bit nervous here for 8.15 because Neo Forte, every time we have it, TVZ, it's a slaughter because, I point out every time this is an older map and you have this kind of weird raised ground main base, and then your expo is down here, but then you have this choke, and it's like, okay, well, I mean, do you go for your hatchery here to make Sunkens to block, or do you go your hatchery here to get economy? And it's just kind of it's pretty bad for Zerg against Terran. It just is. It's just not very balanced, and all the Terrans just keep winning it by just making 2 racks Marine Medic because, you don't really have much of an economy to fight against it. Now, that being said, we're taking a look here. Sharp is going for an 8 racks at his choke, which, I mean, it's a great build. 8 racks on any map is fine, and here it's like, honestly, if I'm playing on Neo Forte, I'm probably only worried about like a rush from Zerg, because yeah, how do you get into a macro game? So looks like we are having what was this, like an 11 pool maybe is what this was, something like that, but it's a pool first, so obviously that'll be good against the racks, but it's not the end of the world for Sharp. It's not like, a BBS or something. And he can just wall this pretty easily and just kind of macro behind it. You don't cut that much to do in 8 racks. But you do cut a little bit. 2 SCVs going out now. Gas coming up for 8.15. Interested to see what he has, because honestly, 8.15 is one of our more aggressive players. Pretty darn cheesy. And he had good results in ASL Season 12 for anyone who watched that. And it was mostly through very cheesy, very aggressive tactics. So maybe that's what we're going to see from him here. Maybe he's a good choice for Neo Forte just because he can like bring something to the table that can win it a single time, right? That's all you need is the one map win. You see Neo Forte one time, and if the Zerg team can win on that map, that bodes well for them. Oh. That's clever. That is clever. Okay, so... Oh, man, if this SCV gets down there and scouts it... Oh, how painful. It's such a clever move, right? Because it... Right now, it looks like he might be doing like a one-base lurker or something, right? You don't know. Okay, he does end up killing that, so that's really good for 815. But yeah, that's super sneaky and super tricky. Like, and this is not hard to defend, right? You put 2 lurkers there, bam, it's done. Yeah, this is definitely not what I was expecting, but definitely a different variety, which is refreshing to see since we've seen so many Zerg losses on the map. All right, the Lings come up and are chasing this SCV. Sharp desperately wants to get in and see what's what. You know, he is sitting there going one base at the moment. And he actually hits a supply block here. So, it's not that bad a supply block, though, actually. He's going to be pretty clean on it. Does end up killing that off. It looks like this is going to be a Spire. And Sharp, the thing is, I don't know if Sharp really knows what's going on here. If he's playing as if it's one base, okay, see, he keeps sending out SCVs. He knows something is really wrong here, and he's really trying to find it. But yeah, if you think that you're playing against one gas, you play completely differently than 2 gas. Against 2 gas, you got to take these mutas actually quite seriously. Now, the SCV is going to be able to scout this, so suddenly this puts 815 into a tough spot because the bio can move out, and you have to basically make sunkens at both locations. See, so he scouts it. Oh, he even attacks it, so now 815 knows. The Ling's going to try to keep an eye on where the bio's going, but you don't have to fully commit, right? You can kind of walk to like here-ish and then decide where you're going to go, and you need defense at both bases. So 2 sunkens will do it at both bases, just FYI. And that's exactly what he's doing. But forcing 4 sunkens out of your opponent right before they want to go Mutalisks is really painful economically. So he is, but I mean, you got to do what you got to do. You can't just lay down and die. So the Sunkens are coming up. The Spire is finishing. We don't even have an eBay. Well, let's see if he can actually bust here. I mean, he gets up the ramp really cleanly, but now he's against 2 Sunks. The drones might want to get pulled here. You do not want... Yeah. Okay, I think 815 is going to just win this game. Because all he has to do is hold this. Okay, are these the greatest Marines ever to have lived? Truly? I can't believe. Oh my god, and now 2 Fire Bats are here? Oh my god, like, I can't believe all 4 of those lived for that long against that many shots. Now, hold on though. Yeah, his economy's not fantastic. But, oh, those are, oh, I'm sorry. I saw 3 eggs. I didn't even look at the production tab. I thought it was going to be mutas. But, like, I mean, Mutalisk Micro would do a lot, but now I'm having to say that, yeah, it looks like Sharp's got this. Okay, GG, Sharp wins another.